What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I am back after about a month or so layoff. Just had a lot of stuff going on. I was finishing my research around Friday night, and the cards were starting Saturday morning. But everything should be good now. Going to be posting videos, trying to aim for Thursday night every week, and this one's kind of a little late, but aiming for Thursday night next week and in the week and after and so on. Also, I'll be posting PGA stuff starting back up. But yeah, just needed a month layoff. Had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm back. Um, and also a few announcements to make. I am bringing back the cheat sheet. It's going to be for free these next couple weeks. If you are interested in the cheat sheet, it's going to go. Just a lot of data in there, a lot of stats and stuff. My targets, my betting targets, and also my GPP exposures and all that. If you're interested, just call me your email or just message me on Twitter, nut_DFS. I'll definitely share that with you for next week. Starting that up next week, just kind of like a free sample of what's to come in the next couple weeks here. So yeah, a lot of you guys have been on that cheat sheet before and definitely enjoyed it. So gonna be doing that for free for these next couple weeks. But yeah, UFC 243, very excited for this card. For a pay-per-view card, it's pretty weak, but there are a few good fights I'm looking forward to here. Um, like I said, I have been finishing my research up late Friday night. I've still been playing. I've cashed a profit in the last 3 out of 4 weeks. I did fade Macy Chiasson last week at she's like 50%, which I could not believe. I faded her on percent, but got second in my singles. So hopefully it's another good week. I'm really excited to be getting content out again every week as well. So let's just start with the fights to target here. As you guys know, Fight Metric has been screwing everybody lately. They've been not counting significant strikes, well, takedowns, haven't not been counting knockdowns, advances, all that. They just been slacking heavily. But you know what? Fight Metric cannot take away our finishes, so you're going to want to aim for fights that are going to finish, which I have been doing, and it has been very successful because Fight Metric has just been screwing everybody. But some of the fights you're going to want to target is Adesanya, Whitaker, Tuivasa, Spivak, more so Tuivasa, Tafa to Castro, and Patolo, Potter, more so Patolo, and then Riddell and Malarkey. So those are the fights I'm going to target. Those are the fights I think are going to finish. Adesanya, Whitaker, I do think has a chance to finish. And yeah, let's get started with the core plays here. Patolo at 9,000. I think he's going to come out here get a first round finish. That's what's definitely expected. Potter did get finished in the first round his last fight against, what was that, Jalen Turner? Or no, that was Walt Harris. Walt Harris finished him, I believe. So I do think Patolo can do the same. He's a finisher. He's a killer. I think he can finish him in the first round. So I'm going to try to get as much Patolo as I can. Justin Tafa, this fight is not going to go to decision. Minus 390 to go to finish inside the distance. So I like Tafa a lot. But I am going to play both sides of this because this is a heavyweight fight. He's only 3-0, not much experience. Anything can happen, but I'm definitely looking to target this fight heavily, probably going to be 100% on it. And then Robert Whitaker, 8,200, might get a little bit of hate from this, but honestly, this fight is 50-50 for me. But I do have slight leans for Whitaker, and I'll tell you why. I did see an interview where Whitaker did mention maybe bringing wrestling and grappling into this, maybe getting takedowns. And if he does that, I do think he has. I think that'd be smart. I do think he can possibly get him down, control him for a little bit. Another reason I do like Whitaker is I think the striking is pretty close. It's just the range that worries me about Adesanya. And then so I think this fight's very close, 50-50. And also another thing is he's 8,200. I think Adesanya is this very, very slight favorite. I think a lot of money is coming in on Adesanya. So people are going to see that. People are going to see that Adesanya is a slight favorite, and he's cheaper at 8,000. So I think all the ownership is going to go to Adesanya. So I think Adesanya is going to come in around maybe 55-60%, and then we're going to get Whitaker around 35 to 40%, maybe 45% around there. So I think there could be a huge advantage leaning more on Whitaker. Just more contrarian going with Whitaker because he is going to be more expensive than Adesanya by 200. So I think he will be the less popular option, and that's in a 50-50 fight. Definitely, you could get an advantage there. And one more thing, I do think Whitaker has a chance to get a knockout here. We've seen Gastelum hurt Adesanya. If you guys remember, he rocked him, and then instead of trying to finish him, Gastelum tried to take Adesanya down, and everybody was yelling. Well, at least I was yelling, like, "What are you doing?" But I do think Whitaker has power. I don't know if he has as much power as Gastelum, but he does have power, and I do think he could possibly get a knockout. So those are the reasons I like Whitaker. And for Adesanya, I do like Adesanya as well because this fight is 50-50. I do think he could possibly win a split decision. All 5 rounds, picking Whitaker apart. He does have a lot of range. So I do think Adesanya can win a decision as well. But my lean is definitely Whitaker. So if I was doing one lineup, I would put Whitaker in that lineup. If I was doing 20 lineups, I'd go maybe 11, 12 lineups, Whitaker, 8 lineups, Adesanya, something like that. And then my next core play is Jamie Mullarkey. He's an underdog, but I do think, my bad, he's 7,000. He's 7,600 actually. Anyway, yeah, Mullarkey, I think this fight should be 50-50. I think he has the huge advantage if he works in his takedowns, and I think he can do that. We've seen it before. Riddell, just very, very technical, very good on the feet. But Mullarkey's not a slouch on the feet as well. So I do think this fight's 50-50. And for that reason, I do like the value at 7,600. And I do think there could be a finish here. The inside the distance line is for this fight is minus 160. So I actually think it should be more towards like minus 200 around there. But I do like Mullarkey as an underdog play here and as a core play as well. But on the other side, I will be playing some Riddell because I do think Riddell has power. Well, they both have power. I do think Riddell has that power and could knock him out. GPP, Tai Tuivasa, 9,300. I do think he's going to get that first round finish there. He should get the first round finish. I'd be highly surprised if he didn't. 9,300. If you can fit that in your lineup, I know there's not many underdogs or good pump plays this week, but if you can fit Tuivasa in your builds, put him in there. Brad Riddell, 8,600. Like I said, he has power. I think this fight's going to finish inside the distance, and someone's getting knocked out or submitted. And I think Riddell has the power to definitely knock out Mullarkey if Mullarkey wants to stand and bang. Dan Hooker, 8,500. I feel like Hooker is going to be extremely chalky, and that worries me so much because Iaquinta has never been finished, I believe, in about 25, 26 fights. Hooker's in the co-main event. Everybody wants to play the co-main event, so I think his ownership could get up to 40%. I don't want to say 50%, but pushing 50% there, which absolutely worries me. And I am thinking about taking a stand and I'm possibly fading Hooker here. I know I might sound crazy, but I don't think Hooker. I think there's a chance he could finish Al here, but I don't know. Al's never been finished in 25 fights, so and I do think this fight should be more so a pick'em fight, and he's 8,500, and yeah, that ownership that I think is going to happen is really scaring me there. But I will have a couple because I do think, he could get that knockout. You never know. It's MMA. He could be the first one to knock out Iaquinta here, but yeah, I'm going to be definitely a little bit lower owned on Hooker there. And then Adesanya, of course, 8,000. You got to play him if you're doing multiple lineups. 50-50 fight, in my opinion, and he definitely has the tools to win this fight. But my lean is ever so slightly Whitaker. Live dogs, DeCastro here is 7,900. This fight is going to finish minus 390 to finish, like I said. So someone's getting knocked out. Heavyweight. You got to play both sides of this fight. So I'm probably going to go around 50-50 on this fight. Maybe a little bit more Tafa because I do think he's the better striker. But if DeCastro can get takedowns, he definitely has a path to victory. Maybe a ground and pound finish. So I will be playing both sides. And then another live dog is Al Iaquinta. I do think this should be a pick'em. Very tough. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I think if there is a finish, it could be Al Iaquinta getting a knockout. But overall, the inside the distance line is like plus like 200 or something like that. So I don't think it's going to be finished. I think it's going to be just a striking battle. And Hooker has never landed over like 80 strikes in a fight. Well, that is due to him like knocking everybody out, but he has not landed, I think, over 81 strikes. I think that was his most. But for Hooker to hit value here, he needs about for him to hit like 100 points, he needs like over 120 strikes, something like that. That would be hitting 90 points. If Hooker got 120 strikes and the decision victory, that would be at 90 points. So I don't know if he's going to land that many strikes. I do think this is a pick'em, and I am going to definitely have more Iaquinta at 7,700 because I do think he could win. And if he does get a decision victory, I do think he can possibly score around 85 points. I don't know if he's going to get a finish. Hooker is tough as well, both very tough, but I am going to play more Iaquinta. Fades, Megan Anderson. I hope everybody learned last week about Jiasin. Don't play these women fighters that are 9,400, 9,500. Just it's women's MMA. Anything can happen. I do think Anderson's probably going to get a finish sometime in this fight, but there's not many underdogs or punts that can really allow you to pay up for Anderson. If you can afford Anderson and Tuivasa in a lineup, if you're making builds that way with a couple punts, go for it. I just don't think that many live dogs or punts are going to win this week. So I'm going to fade Anderson 100%, maybe one at the most or two, but it is women's MMA. I don't think Anderson's that good, and I actually do think she could lose this fight. Probably not, but I do think there's a chance she can lose this fight. And Kim here, she's 8,700. She's probably not going to get a finish. Like I said, women's MMA again, 8,700. Just a fight you can easily not put in your lineups. And then punt play, Bruna Silva, 7,300. I think he's getting a little disrespected here. I do think he has a chance to win if he can use his wrestling. And he comes from a great camp. And I do think the line should be a little closer. He's like a plus 200 underdog, something like that. But I do think the line should be a little bit closer. My bad about that. But anyway, I do think the line should be a little bit closer here. And 7,300 is a very nice pump play. But let me warn you, it is the first fight of the night, so do not go all in. You don't want to ruin all your lineups. And Dos Santos, 6,800. She's pretty bad, but I think Anderson's bad as well. Haven't really seen many things on the ground with her, but if she was smart, maybe she's going to try for some takedowns. You never know. I think that'd be smart to, at least give it a try. And maybe she's improved, over the course of her last fight. And she is a finisher as well. Anderson and Dos Santos are both finishers, so I do think someone's going to get finished, or Anderson maybe get a decision here. But Dos Santos is not a bad punt at all. And that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, you can comment below. Also, like I said, I will be starting up that cheat sheet again with my targets, GPP exposures, the cheat sheet with all the stats and even projections in there. Giving that out for free for these next couple weeks. I know the contests have not been so big. That's why I'm giving it out for free. And then once football season's over, the contests get bigger. And very excited for that. But football has really took a toll on all the contests that are not football. So, drop your email or just message me on Twitter if you want to get access to that cheat sheet for next week. And yeah, that's about it. But yeah, guys, I'm back. I am back for good. And well, good luck this weekend.